Welcome back to Board Online, Board Offline. Today we're going to finish our game of Mage Knight. This is the Lost Relic scenario from the Shades of Tezla expansion using the Krang hero from the Krang expansion. So a lot of stuff mixed in together, a lot of stuff that people who are getting the new Ultimate Edition or Collector's Edition, whatever it's called, of Mage Knight will have all this stuff available to them as well. So while you're watching this, be sure to remember, I mentioned it in the last video, I'm going to mention it now, that I should have had 4 mana dice when I was playing this instead of 3 because of the special rules for this scenario, and there should have been 4 units in the unit offer instead of just 3. Didn't do that, kind of hampered myself a little bit, but let's see how I do. We're going to get right down to the table. If you like what you see, be sure to check the description for a way to purchase Mage Knight or other ways to support the channel as well. Let's get right down the table, and this is the gameplay for the Lost Relic from Mage Knight. Okay, so here we are, getting ready to start. First thing we're gonna do is pick our tactics card. The way these work is if I pick one, I'm guaranteed to go first because then the dummy player will choose one of these at random, but one always goes first, so there's nothing else that he could pick that would beat me. However, then I don't have any special abilities. So one is definitely not going to be the one I choose. Let's look at Rethink. When you take this tactic, discard up to 3 cards, including wounds, from your hand, then draw that many cards. Shuffle your discard pile back into your deed deck. That could be good later in the game, but again, we only have 1 day and 1 night, so let's ignore that. Mana Steal. When you take this tactic, take 1 mana die of a basic color from the source and put it on this card. You can use that mana on any of your turns this day. If you do, re-roll it at the end of that turn and return it to the source. Okay, so that one, pretty good one. I like that one a lot. Let's keep that one out. Planning. At the end of each turn, if you have at least 2 cards in your hand before you draw as if your hand limit is 1 higher. Pretty good as well. I mean, it makes you not use all your cards on your turn, but you also then have more to choose from, on your next turn. When you take this tactic, immediately draw 2 cards. Okay. Could be good. I think, though, perhaps one of those might be better since I only have 1 day. And in the right moment, one time this day during your turn, you can announce that you will take another turn immediately after this. If you do, flip this card face down. I don't foresee on this first turn the dummy player, that's me, the dummy player burning through his deck too terribly fast. So I don't think I'm gonna need this to offset that. So we're going to go with one of these, and I think out of the 2 of these, I think I'm going to go with Planning. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try. I'm going to keep it here. Help me remember that I could get an extra card if I don't burn through all my cards. Now let's see. So now the dummy player has a pretty good shot. He's got a 3 out of 5 chance that he's going to go before me, and he is. He went with Early Bird, so he definitely is going before me. So before he goes, let's go on and draw up, and let's see what cards we're going to have to start with. We get 5. As you can see here, that 5 right there means we have a 5-card hand. All right, so starting off, let's get these organized. All right, so we've got Swiftness, move 2, or range attack 3. We've got Improvisation, discard another card from your hand to get move 3, influence 3, attack 3, or block 3, or discard another card from your hand to get move 5, influence 5, attack 5, block 5. Rage, attack or block 2, or just attack 4. Tranquility, heal 1 or draw a card, or heal 2 or draw 2 cards. And then Ruthless Coercion, which we talked about during the setup, so we don't need to go through that one again. All right, let's do the dummy player's turn real quick. So I'm going to move this offer over here. The common skills offer over there. All right, so the dummy player is going to draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. And now since this is a blue card and he has blue, I know those are hard to see. These crystals the color does get muddled under certain lighting. However, this right here is about as good as you can hope for. I don't know why that is. It's really more the blue and the blacks are hard to tell apart. Other than that, they're fairly easy, but those are blue. But now, this is actually the worst thing that could happen, because he has 2 blue crystals, which means he draws 2 additional cards. All right. Now, on the bright side, you can see that in this first go round, he burned through 2 green cards and 3 blue cards, which means that the rest of this deck is much more unlikely that his final card will be blue or green every time he draws. So less likely that he'll run through it real fast. But the fact that he did get through 5 cards in his first draw, maybe I should have taken that number 6 card after all. All right, so here we go. What am I going to do? So remember, my goal is I've got to get to these cities, which are going to be out this way, right? I've got to flip over more terrain tiles. Currently, I have 3 more country tiles that I've got to get through, 3 more green tiles, and then I'll get it to the 3 core tiles, 2 of which have cities. And I've got to get to those cities and defeat the dragons in order to win the game. So let's take a look at this. So a couple of different spots kind of attract my attention here. The glade would be good because I can get the a yellow or a gold mana token at the beginning of my next turn. It would also help me. I would then be able to flip this over, see what's there. Actually, just moving here would flip that over. But by moving there, I could flip that over and see what's there. Also, I'd then be in a position to attack these guys and be close to that if I wanted to go after that site as well. Up here, the only thing that really is attractive is this mine. But it's also going to be expensive to get to because I got to go through the hills here. So I think I am going to, well, let's see. Okay, so first off, let's do this. I will just do move 2 right here. All right, so let's use that as a discard. Put discard over here for now. All right, so that gets me here. And by going there, I can see this. All right, so what do we have here? All right, so we've got some fire mages. They have 5 armor with fire resistance, 6 fire damage. They give me 5 fame when I beat them. All right. To move in here, that mage tower is on, what's that, wasteland. So that would cost 4 movement to get in there. I don't have any real good way of getting, I have this right here, but that would require discarding another card. I think it might be more beneficial maybe to use the gold. So I don't have to use this crystal. I can use the gold to activate this and draw 2 additional cards. Because like I said, then I'll end up, my plan is to end up on the glade anyway, which if I need healing, I can get it there. I mean, honestly, it's a little bit more aggressive than I normally would want to do it. Because I need to get moving and find these cities, I am going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to play that. So, and technically, by the way, this wouldn't be in the discard pile yet. It's been played. So we'll just put it there just so we can keep track of what we've played. Play that. So I'm going to draw 2 cards. Okay. What do we have? There we go. All right, so we've got March, which gives me move 2, or I can use my green crystal to get move 4, and we've got concentration, gain a blue, white, or red mana token, or use green to, when you play this, play another action card with it, get the stronger effect of that card for free. If that effect gives you move, influence, block, or any type of attack, move that amount plus 2. So this opens up an interesting possibility here. If I use the stronger ability of concentration and play March with it, I'll gain 6. So instead of ending in the glade, I could end here. By moving here, these guys are rampaging, which means they'll be pissed off that I move across them like this, and they will come and attack me here. Which then I have, let's see, that'd be good to go in and get that defeat under my belt. Get 2 fame from that, gain some influence, or not influence, some reputation as well. I certainly can take them out. That's not an issue. And then depending on what I draw next time, I can fight those guys or explore. I'd be in a good spot to explore. The downside is I don't end on the glade. You know what? I'm not, normally I would kind of stick around here. I'd want to try to maybe go up here, but I'm going to start pushing out and exploring. I really feel like I need to keep the tempo up. So let's do this. Let's, again, be a bit more aggressive than I'm used to here. So we'll play this with the stronger ability using March. So that gives me the move 4 plus 2. So that gives me 6, which lets me go 1, 2. Now again, moving across, from one space to another, both of them are adjacent to a rampaging enemy. That enemy is now going to attack me. All right. So now this means I'm going to get 2 different attacks of 1 damage each. So the question is, do I just accept those wounds, or do I block 1? I think maybe I accept 1 and block the other, because I do have this card. I have this card in my hand. Oh, this guy has physical resistance. Let me remember how that works. Hold on. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to block anything, because instead I'm going to let this damage come through. First thing I'm going to do is assign one of these hits right here to the Guardian Golems. Now they have physical resistance, which means the first thing they do is reduce any physical damage by this amount here, by 3, by their armor amount. In this case, it's reduced to 0. Now that doesn't give them a wound because they are physically resistant, and since there's no damage left, they don't take any wounds, so that first attack is dealt with. The other attack I'm going to let come through and hit me, which means I'm going to have to put a wound into my hand. All right, so there we go. So that wound's in my hand. Not the worst thing in the world. We'll have ways we can deal with that. So now that both of that damage has come through, I will now go ahead and attack with my rage. And let's kind of clear a space here. Throw rage down in there. We'll use that crystal. That's attack 4. That's the 4 damage we needed to get through their 4 armor, and the skirmishers are dead, which means we gain 1 reputation for killing a rampaging enemy, and 2 fame, gets us closer to leveling up because of what, as you can see on the bottom there, they're worth 2 fame points is what that red banner, was what that red banner tells you. So back over here, let's clean all this up. These obviously go away. Discard all this. Have to re-roll this. Got a green. And, oh, hold on. No, never mind. That would have been for block. I didn't do any block, so we don't need to worry about that. Actually, didn't even use that power. That's fine. That gets discarded as well. All right, so that's going to be the end of my turn. And as you can see, I have 2 cards left. The wound card doesn't count for these purposes. At the end of each turn, if you have at least 2 cards in your hand before you draws if you handle as 1 higher. So now I can draw 3 more cards because the wound does count towards my hand limit. So I get 3 cards. All right, so we've got Stamina, move 2 or move 4. We also got Promise, influence 2 or influence 4. And then mana draw. You can use 1 additional mana die from the source this turn. Take a mana die from the source and set it to any color except gold. Gain 2 mana tokens of that color. Do not re-roll this die when you return it to the source. All right. Okay, so let's go on and see what he does on his turn. 1, 2, 3. We're fine. He doesn't have any red crystals, so nothing additional gets drawn. So now I've got the choice. Do I want to go and try to get this stuff out of these ancient ruins facing the green and red enemies? Well, the fact is this is really the only damage dealing card I've got. At this point, I'm all influence and movement really. So I think I'm not. I mean, granted, these guys are with me. They would come help me in the ancient ruins, but I still think I'm going to leave it alone. And instead, I'm going to move. All right. So, and first things first, we're going to explore this area and then hopefully be able to move on from there. I am going to go ahead and use the strong ability of Stamina. All right. So let's see what we've got. Here we've got a white crystal mine. All right, here we have another village, which is good. The village, actually, I could go there. And how much is it? Is it to heal in a village? 3 influence lets me heal in a village. So I could go there and heal this turn and then continue on. And up here, all right, we've got another one of the keeps. So we'll put that out there. All right, now, like I said, I have 4 movement. Or I have 2 left because it takes 2 to flip out a new tile. Oh, and let's not forget, I did get a fame point for putting a tile out, so that puts me at 12 because of the special rules of this scenario. All right, so then we'll move into there. And we only need 3 influence, like I said, in order to heal up. The problem is, okay, so I got 2 influence there. I could get 3 influence by discarding another card. I also want to be able to recruit, and I I could get Utum Guardsmen in the village, so I got to keep that in mind. All right, so I will use mana draw. You can use one additional mana die from the source this turn, and then play Promise, using the white mana die to get the 4 influence so that I can heal, get rid of this wound from my hand. And that will be my turn. So let's clean this up real quick. Got another white and a green. And draw back up. We need to get to 6 again. All right, now we do have a lot of attack available to us. We even have the spell Mana Bolt. And we still have this. Actually, I wonder if I shouldn't have. No, I wouldn't have had enough. Okay. All right, so we got to do the dummy player's turn. All right, so 1, 2, 3, white, so nothing. In a normal game, this might be a moment where I would turn back around and come back here because I have so much attack in my hand now that I feel confident I could take out the green and the red, the Draconum, and then whatever the green enemy is. But look at my deck here. I only have 4 cards left in my deck, which means I am going to be running out of daylight here in a minute. This will be the end of the round, so I really need to make an effort to get to these cities. And I've still got 2 more green tiles I got to get through as well. So I think I'm going to play this move 2 to go on and explore here, which means I'm going to have to rearrange some stuff here. So hold on one second. All right, that should do it. So again, we played the move 2 there. And this tile will be so we've got desert, which is very difficult to get through during the daytime. That's 5 movement each. We've got this rampaging enemy here. These are crystal sprites. Now they have 2 different attacks of 1 ice damage each. They're only worth 1 fame. I do get one of these tokens, which is from the Shades of Tezla expansion. It's an Elementalist faction token. It'll give me a little bonus. 1 armor, but then this right here, what that ability means, let me refresh my memory here, is elusive. All right, and elusive enemy has increased armor value. The lower value is used only in the attack phase and only if all of the enemy attacks were successfully blocked. Any armor modifications apply to both values. All right, so they also have cold resistance, and what does that mean again? Oh, that's defense right there. That little right there, that defense 1. Enemies with defendability will defend themselves or other enemies when you attack them. So now the question is, do I want to cross this desert? Or do I want to maybe, I could now just stay where I am, recruit this turn. I don't have any red mana though, is the problem. It costs 3 movement to move into the hills. So I could use this to move into the hills. Forget about recruiting the Utum Guardsmen, though that's probably going to be pretty important to have them too. All right, well, if I use this, the Utum Guardsmen would cost me 3. I'll lose 1 reputation, but I'm not too concerned about reputation this game. So I'll lose 1 reputation. I would have to use 1 more card sideways to do it. So alternatively, I could just use this, discard this card along with it. So discard another card to get the influence 3 to recruit, or I could use this to move here and start and gain a mana crystal beginning of the next turn. Or I could explore again. Okay, this way we'll go in and get the final country tile out of the way so we can get to those cities. All right, so look, if I, oh no, again, I'm not thinking clearly, y'all. Again, I don't have the red to be able to do this. All right, after thinking along about this, I do think I need to try to get another unit. This might be a mistake, but I am going to go for another unit, all right? So, and the only way I'm going to do that without just burning up a lot of cards is I'm going to have to use Ruthless Coercion. I'll use the Influence 2, and then I will use this card sideways, all right? So that'll give me 3 influence total, and that will let me recruit The Utum Guardsman, attack 2 or block 4, which counts twice against swiftness. It has 5 armor, so put that there. So now I'm maxed out on units for the moment. And because I did, so these go in the discard pile along with this, because I can't do anything else because I did an action in the city or in the village. All right, and then I got to draw 3 cards. All right, so we got Savage Harvesting. Move 2. Once this turn, when you move a space, you may discard a card to gain a crystal of the same color. If you discard an artifact, you may choose a color, or move 4. Each time you move a space this turn, you may discard a card to gain a crystal of the same color. If you discard an artifact, you may choose any color. Then Swift Bolt, gain a white crystal to your inventory, range attack 4, or Crystallize. When you play this, you also pay 1 mana of a basic color, gain a crystal of that color to your inventory, or gain a crystal of any color to your inventory. All right, dummy player. 1, 2, 3. And me and him are going to run out just about the same time. Okay, so what are we going to do here? We need to explore. If I use this, if I use Savage Harvesting, because I think that's my best, only move ability actually. If I use Savage Harvesting, move 4, that would get me to here. But then I wouldn't be able to explore without using this and then turning an ability sideways. Alternatively, I can move here. That would cost 3. I'd have 1 left over. I could also then use this right here to get the additional movement. And at the beginning of my next turn, I gain a white crystal. So I think that's what we're going to do. All right, so Savage Harvesting. Let's put that right here because we're going to have to put a tile here in a second. Stronger ability. So let's move 4. So we move there, and now let's reread this one more time. Each time you move a space this turn, you may discard a card to get a crystal of that color. So are there any of these that I want to discard to get a crystal of that color? I'm going to have a white crystal begin the next turn. We've got in our mana pool down here, we have white and green, so we don't have blue, so it might be worth getting rid of a blue. This one right here, the whole purpose of this card is to get crystals. So I'll discard Crystallize. I'll gain a blue crystal. Put it down here. All right. And now I'm on that top. I'm going to turn this sideways just to indicate I'm using it in order, because it took 3 movement to get to the hills. It left me with 1. That gives me 1 more. So now I have 2, so I can explore this area here, which will be the last country tile I need to explore. Okay. Like this. Which gives us this right here. So if I can spend 3 mana, I'll gain 7 fame. Got a wizard tower here. And we've got centaurs. 5 armor, 3 damage. They are swift. And I do get one of those elemental bonuses for beating them. All right, so I will end my turn right there. And so let's clean this up. Got red. Discard pile. We only have 1 card left. We'll draw that. All right, we've got some movement here. Stamina. That's good. Let's go to the dummy player. Oh, and I forgot. I have explored 2 more times. So that actually puts me at 14. I should have got 1 fame point for each of those. 14 fame points, which means 1 more fame point I will actually level up. All right, so 1, 2. So next turn, he'll call end of round. I'm pretty close to the end of round anyway, so we're on pace with each other, so that's fine. Okay, so I don't know what's in this mage tower. However, I have exactly enough movement to get into the mage tower and attack it, which would be good to do. I'd gain a spell that way. I could, right? You get spells for conquering mage towers, I believe. Yes, gain a spell as my reward from the spells offer for conquering it. Oh, I forgot, by the way, I did lose that reputation. Didn't show you all that, but I did mark that off. I'm back to, well, I was at 0 reputation anyway, but now I'm at the middle 0 instead of the upper 0. All right, so let's see what we're going to do here. Oh, I don't have blue though. I don't have any blue mana. Oh, I do have the blue. Here, let's move this up a little bit. I do have this blue crystal actually, so that could get me to. I could use this by using that crystal to get over there. Okay. So I think that's the best thing for me to do right now is to go over there, attack that mage tower, try to get a spell out of the whole deal. All right, so let's do the. Oh, this by the way is good to go. All right, so move 4. So the first move is going to go there. And by the way, if you're not familiar with the game, you can. I could obviously do move 2 to move here, but then once the card's played, I can't then up power the card after I've already played it. So I have to make this decision now prior to knowing what's in the mage tower. But what we have here are magic familiars. All right, so these guys are kind of nasty. They have 7 armor. Come on, there we go, 7 armor. They are not fortified though, so that's good. But they have 2 different 3 attack. They're going to attack me twice for 3 each, and they're brutal. And now what brutal means is that if they are unblocked, they'll deal twice as much damage as normal. So let's see if we have any way. I don't know if I'm going to have enough to. I don't have any way of actually triggering the spell right now because I don't have that. This mana right here was my only blue mana, which really stinks right now. All right, so let's see what our other options are. So I have range attack 4 here. That's not going to be enough to take these guys out. So I'm going to have to hold on to that and just use it during my normal attack, because normally the way it works is you have siege and ranged attack first, then we have to deal with them attacking me, and then we go into the melee attack where I can use any of my attacks to take them out. So unfortunately, that's where we're at right now. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to block these guys. All right. So they're coming in with 2 different 3 damage attacks. Okay. I've got these guys have 4 block. These guys have 2 block, and they have physical resistance. Oh, okay. All right. So the Utum Guardsmen, they're going to block 4. All right, so that will take care of one of these attacks. Then the other attacks, oh no, okay. Let's see, if it goes unblocked, then they'll actually take a wound. That might not be so bad. They could deal with a wound. And the reason why is, so remember, they have physical resistance, which means normally they subtract 3 off of an attack, and then whatever's left is then what they'll absorb in damage. However, if these guys go unblocked, then they actually deal 6 damage because brutal makes them deal twice as much. So what would happen here instead is he has physical resistance. He's now absorbing 6 damage if it goes unblocked. And so the first 3 damage will get subtracted off, leaving 3 more damage. And so that second set of 3 damage from the 6 is what would cause him to take a wound. All right, so the question is, do I let him take a wound? Because he would absorb all the damage. I wouldn't be taking the wound, and then I could try to heal him later or replace him later. Alternatively, see, I have block 5 here, but no way of using it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to assign the damage to this guy. He will absorb all 6 damage, but in the process will gain a wound, which means he is now unusable until I get that wound taken off of him. However, now that that damage has been absorbed, now all the damage has been assigned, blocked here, and then assigned here, I now can attack. And we have a red here. I need to deal 7 damage total. So I think what I'll do is throw the Swift Bolt out using that white mana die. So that's now that's 4 damage that I've done to him. I can do better. Hold on. Instead, let's do this. We'll do 4 damage with rage. All right. And, oh, hold on. Everybody, back up. Okay, so one thing this game tells you is that until you reveal new information, you can always backtrack your turn. Okay, once new information comes out, too late, you're locked in. All right, so let's backtrack off of this real quick. I forgot, I've got this ability right here. So that the first set of 3 damage, like we said, was blocked by the Utim Guardsmen with their block 4. This guy only has 2 regular block. These blocks I'd have to use mana for, and I don't want to do that because I need the mana for my attack. However, this can give a unit or myself 1 block. So we're going to use that to give him an additional block. That puts him up to block 3. So now he's blocking that damage rather than absorbing it, so he does not get wounded. Okay, that's much better. All right, so the Spirit Guides token really came in clutch there. All right, now, let's go back to this now. So Rage, 4 attack, okay, and then we will do attack 2 more there. So that gets me to 6, and then we'll turn Mana Bolt sideways, which gives me 7 attack, which does defeat these guys. And as my final thing that I'm going to do on this turn, Swift Bolt, gain a white crystal to my inventory. That way I'll have that available next phase, during the night round. All right, but that does take this guy out. Okay, so a couple things come from that. 5 fame points, which we'll deal with in a second. Also, I now have conquered this Mage Tower, which means to put that there. My guy is here now. So because I conquered the Mage Tower, I get to choose a spell. They're all red spells. Fire attack 5, fire block 7. I like the Burning Shield. I'm gonna take the Burning Shield. We're gonna go with that. Yeah, okay. So that goes into my discard pile. So now up here at this, again, 5 fame, all right, is what I'm gonna get for defeating this guy, which knocks me up to 19, and now I've leveled up, so I gain an additional fame for leveling up. However, remember, if I attack a Mage Tower, I also need to remember that I lose 1 reputation. So that drops down still at 0, so it's not affecting anything as far as my influence goes. If it goes here to -1, then I have to pay 1 additional influence in order to recruit anything, in order to recruit recruits. So now though, we've leveled up. So that means I draw 2 of these. Let's see what we've got here. It's called Puppet Master. Once a turn, either keep 1 enemy token you defeated this turn or discard 1 previously kept enemy token. If you discard 1, then either get attacks at half the strength of its attack value or block at half its armor value, all rounded up. If a token's attack is cold or fire, then so is the attack you get. If the token has cold or fire resistance, then the block you get is of the opposite elemental type. All right, so I guess that's like some necromancy stuff going on there. Or this one. So here we've got Battle Hardened. Once a turn, ignore either the next 2 points of damage assigned to your hero from a single physical attack or 1 point of damage from a non-physical attack. Yeah, I'm going to take Battle Hardened. And of course, we add 1 more from the dummy player. And that one is called Regenerate. So you can see here, once a turn, pay a mana of any color and throw away a wound from your hand. If you used green mana to do this, or have the least fame not tied, then also draw a card. And then also for leveling up, I get to take an advanced action card. Let's see. I really like Maximal Effect a lot, but I had struggled with mana that last time. We're going to take Spellforge. Which means this slides down. And Temporal Portal comes out. Play as your action for this turn. You may move to an adjacent revealed safe space without provoking rampaging monsters. Whether you move or not, your hand limit is higher by 1 the next time you draw cards. As above, except you can either move 2 spaces to a revealed safe space instead of 1, or get a hand limit increased by 2 instead of 1. So at this point, both myself and the dummy player are out of cards. So technically what would happen is the dummy player would call end of round, and then it would be my turn again, but I can't do anything. So so that would be his turn, or basically the end of the round. Yeah. All right, so new round. That's the end of the day round. We're going into the night phase. Again, only 2 rounds in this game. So here we go. Let's re-roll our dice. All right, we've got green, red, and white for the mana for this round. All right, now our unit offer goes away, and we get some new cards. So this time we'll have the thugs, all right? Basically, to recruit them, the influence modifier, my reputation, works in reverse. So if I have negative reputation, it's easier for me to recruit these guys, and vice versa. And they've got block 3, attack 3, reputation -1, influence 4, reputation -1. You can't assign damage to this unit unless you pay 2 influence during combat. So they have 5 armor, but they're not willing to take to absorb damage unless I give them a little extra push. All right, we've got the shock troops again, and the illusionists, influence 4. Target spend a white mana. Target unfortified enemy does not attack this combat, or gain a white crystal to your inventory. All right, so now with a dummy player, the lowest card on the advanced action offer goes into the dummy player's deck. And then this slides down. We get a new one at the top. We've got Crushing Bolt. Gain a green crystal to your inventory, or the stronger effect, Siege Attack 3. Now with a spell offer, this does go back into the deck. However, the dummy player is going to get a red crystal added here. Okay, slides down. We're going to have 2 spells to fill this out. Let's see, we've got Charm, influence 4. When you use this during interaction with then either gain a crystal of any color to your inventory, or get a discount of 3 towards the cost of 1 unit. Or possess. One enemy does not attack in the attack phase. Gain attack equal to its attack, including elements, if any, but ignore special abilities. You can target only other enemies with that attack. Space bending. This turn you may move to spaces and explore new tiles that are 2 spaces away from you, as if they were adjacent. Ignore any spaces you leap over this way. Your movement does not provoke rampaging enemies this turn. Or time bending. At the end of your turn, set this card aside for the rest of the round. Put all other cards you played this turn, not those discarded or thrown away, back in your hand. Skip the draw new cards portion of your end of turn step. Immediately take another turn. All right, and my Utum Guardsmen and my Guardian Golems are readied. All right, so I have reshuffled this deck. I also reshuffled the dummy deck. I need to get rid of this card because we're about to pick our Knight Tactics. All right, so just like before, the number 1 has no ability, so I'm definitely not choosing that. Long Night. One time this night, if your deed deck is empty, you may shuffle your discard pile and put 3 cards at random back into your deed deck. Then flip this card face down, so just kind of extend the time I can play this round. Mana Search. I don't think that's the one I'm going to use. Well, actually, since the whole thing right now is that I'm kind of, you know what, let's keep that out just in case. I've got to kind of rush here a little bit because I've got to get through 3 more tiles and defeat 2 cities, so that might be worth it. Mana Search. Once per turn before you use mana from the source, you may re-roll up to 2 mana dice in the source. When choosing dice to re-roll, you must pick gold, which was depleted in the night phase, dice first if there are any. I really like that one a lot. That's one of my favorites. Midnight Meditation. One time this night before any of your turns, you may shuffle up to 5 cards, including ones from your hand, back into your deed deck, and then draw that many cards, then flip this card face down. Nah, not going to do that. Preparation. When you take this tactic, search your deck for any one card and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. We'll leave that one alone. Sparing Power. Once before the start of each of your turns, choose one. Put the top card of your deed deck face down under this card, or flip this card face down and put all deed cards under it into your hand. So this one will also give me some additional time. So basically, the question is, do you use one of these that will give me some additional time, or do we use the Mana Search to have a better possibility of getting mana? I only have this 1 mana crystal right now, and of course that. It won't be Long Night if I use one. If I'm going to go, I'll go with a more powerful one, Sparing Power. If I'm going to go with one to extend my abilities, my time here. Let's go with sparing power. Let's go that route. See what happens. All right, so as you can see, I'm at 20 fame. I only need 1, 2, 3. I need 4 more fame in order to level up again. And then this right here is still on 0, so it's not affecting my ability to recruit yet. And now, of course, I chose the number 6 tactic, which means no matter what the dummy player drew, he was going to go first, so I didn't even bother drawing for him. So let's go ahead and get his turn out of the way. 1, 2, 3. Red, we have 1 red, so he does get 1 additional card. All right. You know what? I forgot to draw my hand. Let's go and do that. Have a hand, 5 cards. Now I think, let's see here. Once before the start of each of your turns, choose one. Put the top card of your D deck. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the top card of my D deck underneath this. Okay. Now, let's see what we've got here. All right, so we've got March, move 2, move 4, Swiftness, Determination, Rage, and Spellforge. Let's remember what Spellforge does here. Gain 1 crystal to your inventory of the same color as one of the spell cards in the spells offer. In the spells offers right now, we have blue, white, and red. Or gain 2 crystals to your inventory of the same colors as 2 different spell cards in the spell offer. So I could try to take this guy out, get a little extra fame, but I really think that's just a distraction. I need to move over here and explore, because going through him would just take too much time. I don't have any influence in my hand right now either. So there's no reason to try to buy a spell, because that costs, I believe it's 7 influence to buy a spell from a mage tower. Yep, 7 influence. So that's not worth messing with right now. So I really think the only thing that's worth doing is going here onto that hill and exploring the next area. So I'm going to use March. Moving onto a hill costs 3 movement. Use March, the stronger ability, so that gives me 4 movement. I'll move here. Now that uses 3 of my movement. I'll then use this to gain 1 additional. So now I have 2 movement left over, which will let me explore right here. So here we go with our first quartile, and we do have a city. We've got an orc tracker. That's going to be 3 armor or 6 with evasive, 4 damage, 3 fame, and it has, what is that, poison? No, I believe that's assassin is what that is. Yeah, assassination. So basically with the assassination ability, damage from this attack cannot be assigned to my units. They will always deal damage directly to my hero if they're not blocked. They're going there. The orc summoners, 4 armor, 4 fame, but they don't actually do any damage themselves. Instead, they're going to summon a brown creature to attack me. And we've got a village up here. We've got a glade here. Now, here's the interesting thing. So in the city, instead of doing the normal city thing where you have the city and there's all kinds of monsters in there, we're going to put a rampaging Draconum on there. Now, I believe, let me reread the rules. I believe I can see him immediately. I don't think I have to get next to the city. So let's take a look at the rule book real quick just to confirm that. All right, so when a destroyed city is discovered, put a Draconum face down on the space. Face down, okay, whenever it plays adjacent to the city, day or night, reveal the marker. Okay, so I'm glad I read this. This is not rampaging. Okay, when you enter the city space, that's when you fight the dragon. Okay. All right, so, well, now first, let's not forget, we uncovered a city, which means that we actually get 2 fame points, 1 for exploring a tile and 1 for it having a city on it. So that puts us at 22. We need 2 more fame points in order to level up. This Draconum will go right here. So now the question becomes, how do I get there? If I go to the swamp, which costs 5 movement to go there and then into the city, first, moving to the swamp is going to get this guy, the tracker, to attack me, and then moving into the city will get the summoner to attack me. So I have to fight them both. So I think the better option is going to be to attack, or have the tracker attack me now, kill him, and then go through the forest, which also at night costs 5 movement as well. So it'll be the same as going through the swamp anyway, and then I won't have to deal with the summoner unless I just decide I really want to. So do I deal with the tracker right now? I think the answer is going to be yes, but let's take a look at this. I have 3 ranged attack. Ooh. Oh no, but he has evasive, which I believe even affects. I believe evasive even affects ranged attack. Let's double check that. Or elusive, excuse me. An elusive enemy has increased armor value. The lower value is only used in the attack phase and only if all the enemy attacks are successfully blocked. Yeah, so in order to kill him with ranged attack, I would have to get all the way up to 6 armor for that. So that's obviously not going to happen. So let's see. So we'll have to let him come at me. Now, I do have my Utum Guardsmen down here do have 4 block, but I kind of want to save them either to deal with a swift creature or the dragon as well, the Draconum. Same thing with my Guardian Golems. I feel like I should really be holding on. They have the fire and ice block. The Draconum could have one of those elements for its attack. So I feel like I'm going to try not to use them against these trackers. Okay, I think this will work. So we're going to have the trackers attack us, and I'm going to use Spellforge, gain 1 crystal. I will gain a blue crystal. All right. And you know what? I'm going to move this up here so we can see exactly what we're working with in terms of our crystals. Got a blue and a white one. All right, so now that leaves me with these 3 cards. I will use Determination. Put the blue crystal there for block 5. All right, so that will block the entire 4 damage that's coming in at me from these guys. So now I need to deal damage back at them. And I think, better idea, pull this back. Let's pull all this back. All right. So instead, let's not forget about this ability I've got, which can reduce damage, reduce physical damage by 2. Except it has to be physical damage dealt directly to my hero, according to the rule, according to the card, the reference card here. So that might not work. If I was willing to take a wound, it would. And then I could save more cards. Okay, no, I don't think it's worth taking 1 wound. I would take 1 wound instead of 2, but I still don't think it's worth it. So back to the original plan. There we go. So we've got the blue crystal, like we said. We've got Determination. Block 5, we block all of his attack, which means now, because we blocked all of his attack, we no longer deal with the higher armor value, we deal with his regular armor value of 3. So we'll use Swiftness. Put the white crystal there for ranged attack 3, which kills the Orc Tracker. All right, so it was a rampaging enemy, so that does move our reputation up 1. Still in the 0 range, though. No big deal there. Okay, but 3 fame, so that puts us at 25. 1 additional for leveling up, so we're at 26. And now we get to level up, which means we now have 3 command tokens, and you can see that that means that we have switched up to a 6-card hand instead of 5. But we do still have 3 armor. So we got to be looking for somebody to recruit soon. And normally cities are good places to recruit. However, in this version, in this scenario, cities are destroyed, so there's nobody to recruit there. So maybe this stronghold, that could give us the shock troopers or the thugs. This village up here, but also, of course, we're going to explore. We'll see what else is available. So let's clean up real quick. Of course, this die gets rolled. Another green. And we need to draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take a look at those after the dummy player turn. All right, 1, 2, 3. White, that's great. Nothing doing for the dummy player. All right, so beginning of our turn, let's go ahead and take the top card, put it under there, and let's see what our hand looks like. So we've got stamina, 2 rages, ruthless coercion, which could be really good for recruiting, mana draw, and crystallize. So we've got some pretty good cards in here. So I'm thinking, now we can go here, and we won't get to see what this is though because it's nighttime. We actually have to go onto the stronghold. Like we'd have to attack the stronghold to be able to see what's in there at nighttime. Plus, really, the dragon is where we want to get. We want to be moving towards. That is really what our focus needs to be. So I think. Let's look down here. These are both good to go again. We can use move 4, and then this to get to the. We don't have a blue. We don't have a blue mana at all. So you can use 1 additional mana die from the source's turn. Okay. Or when you play this, you also gain a mana basic color, gain a crystal that. You also when you play this, also pay 1 mana basic color, gain a crystal that color to your inventory. All right. Take a mana die from the source, set it to any color except gold, gain 2 mana tokens of that color. So if we did that with, we could do that with blue. Yeah, okay. So we're going to play mana draw. Use this white die. And so, and what's it say? So take a mana die from the source and set it to any color except gold. We want to keep that red one, but we don't have any green in our hand right now. So let's set the green to blue. And then we'll gain 2 mana tokens. Let's move this guy up a little bit so you can see what's going to go on there. So mana tokens, these are tokens, not crystals, meaning that at the end of the turn they'll disappear if I don't use them. So we're going to, first off, use the more powerful version here. So play that. Gain a crystal of any color for your inventory. We're going to gain a red crystal. Try to find a spot where I won't have to keep moving him. Maybe if I put him here, he'll be fine. All right. So we have a red crystal and a blue token still. All right, so now stamina. Let's put it over here. Stamina, the more powerful, that's move 4 plus this move right here gives us 5 movement, gets us into the forest, which lets us see the dragon. And we have an ice dragon. 7 armor, ice resistance, and physical resistance. 6 ice damage or cold damage. Does give us 8 fame, and it has paralysis, which is pretty bad. As a reminder, paralyzed means if a unit gets wounded, if any of these guys get wounded from that dragon, it actually destroys them rather than just wounding them. And if I take 1 or more wounds from my hand, then I also must discard anything from my hand that is not a wound. So pretty terrible to get wounded by that guy. That's actually one of my least favorite to fight. So we'll see what we can do with that. I actually think maybe I should stop here and see what sort of, of course I do have ice block. I think so. I was just checking the rules. I don't see anything that says the cities normally cost 2 movement to move into no matter what terrain they're on. I don't see anything in the rules that says it's different for this scenario, so I'm going to assume that it still only costs 2 to get in there. So I'm going to actually end my turn here. So I need to go and draw back up real quick. 1, 2, 3. I'll fix that. Let's clean up a little bit, because I'm going to hopefully get some movement. That die is a red die now, which is actually, oh, that's really great, actually. That gives me plenty of mana to fight the dragon as long as I can block him. All right, 1, 2, 3 for the dummy player. Red, 1 red, so 1 additional. Okay, beginning of my turn, so put one of these cards under here. So swiftness, savage harvesting, and concentration. Okay, so I have done the math and done the math, and I cannot figure out how to kill this dragon this turn. Because the problem is, first I've got to be able to deal with the damage that's incoming. And basically to do that, it's going to... I don't have any way to block all of it without using a mana with this guy or sacrificing both of them, basically, because he could absorb 5 of the damage, but it would kill him, and I would still leave 1 damage left, which means it'd have to go to him, and it would kill him as well because of the paralyze ability. So that would wipe them out. And then the best I could figure, I could generate 4, 8, 11. That's 11 damage right there. This would be used for movement, so that I get to 13 damage, which is 1 short of killing this guy. So I'm pretty sure I don't see any way. Yeah, I can't get him. So instead I'm going to have to do something a little bit different here. I'm going to have to go through this castle, explore here, and hope along the way I collect enough good cards to come back in and attack him again on the next go round. So we're going to go for that castle. And to do that, because I want to hold on to this ranged attack, I'm going to use Savage Harvesting for 2 movement, plus this 1 movement gets me into the castle to face the Utum Swordsman. So 6 damage, 5 armor. Much more run-of-the-mill than that ice dragon I was trying to deal with. All right, so I am in here. I need to block 6 damage. I'm going to let the damage come through and let my Guardian Golems absorb all 6. 3 will be absorbed by their physical resistance and the other 3 by their armor, which means they are wounded again. But I should have an ability to heal them coming up here pretty soon. But now I need to deal, how much is it? 5 damage to these guys. We'll play Rage for 4 damage, and then Rage again for 2 more. That'll kill this guy, which gets me 4 fame, puts me up to 30 fame. I'm 5 away from leveling up again. And I have conquered this castle, which means my hand limit is now 1 higher as long as I'm at that castle or adjacent to it. I'm sorry, keep. And I think, or not I think, that is my turn. So let's draw back up real quick. I'll be at 7, so I need 4 cards. 1, 2, 3. Oh man, there's no way I win this, but we're gonna keep going. We're gonna see how close I can get. That is another red. And now 1, 2, 3, a white, so we're good. Also, the dummy player only has 3 cards left, so this is coming to an end here one way or the other. All right, we have stamina, swiftness, burning shield would have been amazing against that dragon a minute ago. Concentration, swift bolt, ruthless, coercion, and promise. And or flip this card face down, put all deed cards under it into your hand. So that's what we're doing now. So we have these as well. We've got Mana Bolt, Improvisation, and Tranquility. So right off the bat, the obvious thing to do here is explore this territory and hope that's going to be a city. We'll play Stamina, move 4. And of course, it is not the city. Oh, so now do we go back to the other one and try to conquer it? Well, let's fill this one out first. So we've got a dragon directly in front of us, a Vampiric Dragon. It has elusive there, 8 damage, and how does vampire work again? Vampiric. So the Vampiric ability means that an enemy with that ability has its armor value increased by 1 for the rest of combat. For each unit, its attack's wound, and for each wound, its attack's cause to be added to the player's hand. And then that symbol means they get a Dark Crusader's bonus for beating it. Got a Mage Tower right there, a green crystal mine here, and then up here we've got the ancient ruins that are face down because it's nighttime. So I still have 2 movement left from this. I almost feel like the best bet is to turn back around, head back this way, and now use, my burning shield to try to take that guy out. Of course, that would really, I'd need to have some black mana to do that, which, of course, I don't have right now. Okay, here's an idea. Let's recruit. I want to generate 7... Oh, wait, no, I need to... Oh, I can't recruit. I wanted to recruit the illusionists because they can prevent an enemy that's not fortified from attacking, but I can only get them from a monastery or a wizard tower, and my wizard tower is all the way back down here. That's a really long way to go, and there are no monasteries on the board. Okay, so as a consolation prize, we're going to go with Ruthless Coercion for 2 influence and Promise for 2 influence to recruit the shock troops. I think this bottom ability, reduce one enemy attack by 3. Any damage that from that attack must be assigned to this unit first, even if that enemy had assassination. I think that ability can be very useful when dealing with this dragon. So now I just got to get back into that forest, which of course is 5 movement. And how much do I have left? Oh, wait. I can't move right now. I just recruited. So that's the end of my turn. So now it's the dummy player's turn. Let's clean up real quick. Yeah, I'll have to move next time, which means this, yeah, we're cutting it close here. That die is blue. And the dummy player, of course, 1, 2, and 3, which means next time he'll call end of round. All right, I'm going to use improvisation with this red die to generate 5 movement, but I have to discard another card from my hand, which I think will be Tranquility, because I just don't think I'm going to have the opportunity to heal this guy. So that's gone. 5 movement gets me to here. Okay, let's try going in against this guy one more time. We are going to use this as move 2 now. So that gets us in the door. Now we got to deal with this 6 ice damage or 6 cold attack. And we're going to play Burning Shield, the top ability, Fire Block 4. And here, I'm gonna move the camera a little bit. Hold on. So Burning Shield with this mana crystal right here. So Fire Block 4, which, let's bring him down real quick. So you can see he has 6 attack. The Fire Block 4 knocks that down to 2 cold attack left, which means that 4 block is what I would need. 4 regular block is what I would need to deal with 2 ice attack. And so I'll use him for that. So that covers all of the cold attack. So now we've got to generate enough damage to deal with this. Now, fire damage is ideal against him, and because this was used as a successful block, you may use it during your attack phase as Fire Attack 4. So 4 attack knocks him down to 3 armor, but he's still ice and physical resistant, cold and physical resistance. So we need to get 6 more damage done to him. I'm going to use the shock troops to reduce that down to 4. He was at 3, so now he's at 2 armor. He's at 2 armor, so I need 4 damage. I'm going to use concentration to gain a white mana token and place that white mana token on Swift Bolt, for the 4 ranged attack, which I really hope means I have done all the math properly and have successfully killed this dragon. Okay, so I never moved this up when I explored that last tile. Now you can see I killed this dragon, which is worth 8. So 39, and I leveled up, so I'm at 40. That means now I can take a new skill and a new action card. Normally I'd really look at these, but I'm not even going to get to use it, so I'm just going to take one for the purposes of points at the end of the game. So I'll just stick that in my discard pile. So now the dummy player has no more cards. He calls end of round. That means I get one more turn, but there is absolutely nothing I can do. I have Mana Bolt, but it would require a blue mana to trigger it, and then I have to pay one more mana in order to use it. Because this is strong enough to kill this guy from where I stand, but again, I don't quite have the mana to do it because I can only use one of my mana die, obviously. One of my mana dice, obviously, and so don't have enough. So that is going to be the end of the game for me as well. Let's get to the scoring now real quick. So obviously I didn't win the scenario because I didn't find, I wasn't able to complete the relic. But I'll be honest, the first time I play any scenario in Mage Knight, I rarely expect to beat it. I did find one piece of the relic, so let's see how the scoring shakes out. So it says the first thing I do is apply standard achievement scoring, except no titles will be rewarded. So let's take a look at that real quick. So first we need to find all of how many spells do I have. I believe I have 2 spells. So there's 1, 2, I'm pretty sure that's it. Yep, so I get 4 points for that. Puts me at 44. Now we've got advanced actions. There's 1, 2, 3, so 3 more points. 47. I don't have any artifacts. I don't have any crystals. So units that are following me, if they are unwounded, I get their level is the points. If they are wounded, it's half of their level. So I've got the shock troops, that's 2. Utum guardsmen, that's 4. And then the wounded guardian golems, that'll be 1 more point, so 5 total. Puts me at 52. Next up, the Greatest Conqueror here. So basically for any place that my shield is on, I get 2 additional points. And I didn't do a whole lot of conquering because I was rushing so much. So we've got this keep and this mage tower, and I never put my shield on the city. I don't know if you do, actually. I don't think you do. No, it says you do. So that will be 6 total points. 58. And then finally, any wounds in my hand, in my deck, would be -2, but I don't have any. So, and then plus 10 per conquered city, but this is not the same. It's not a regular city, so that doesn't count. So ignore all that. Plus 10 of each player. Nope. Nope. Plus 1 card remaining in the dummy player deck. Nope. Plus 5 if end of round was not. Nope. Okay, so I don't get any of those. All right, so now there's a few more things to check off on here. Score 5 points for each piece of the relic you found. I found 1 piece, so 63. And score an additional 10 points if you found all the pieces. Did not. Score 1 point for each card in the dummy player's deed deck that was not yet flipped this round. Okay, I guess I would have actually ignored this stuff down here maybe. I don't know. Regardless, it doesn't matter, because the dummy player went all the way through his deck. And if the end of round was not announced yet in your last round, score an additional 5 points. All right, so my final score is 63. I got halfway to my goal, didn't quite get there. That is a very, well, you know what? I'll give you my final thoughts. Let's go back up top. So there you go. I did not quite get it. I got halfway there, didn't quite get the entire relic put together. I think I'm going to leave this out, and everything's still set up around the camera right now. I think I'm going to leave it out, and I might give this scenario another run. For one thing, make sure I have enough mana dice and units in the unit offer, and just kind of feel the pace out a little bit better. And hopefully maybe I can score a win on the next go round. Thank you for watching it. If you like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. You can click the bell to make sure you don't miss any videos in the future. And until next time, if you're bored online, board offline.